Hey everyone, Steven Aslaga here, and today I've got a very popular request, especially because the World Cup is going on right now. So I'm going to do a tutorial on Neymar. He's playing for the Brazil team. He's one of their superstars, and he just recently actually colored his hair blonde. He's got really awesome hair, but I think as of right now his hair has kind of got some blonde highlights in it. So I'm going to show you guys the haircut, and maybe I'll show you guys the color as well. Let's get started. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to buzz this probably about right here, because he has it a little bit low, and I'm going to go kind of like a box. So from here basically to about right down to here, and I'm going to leave this longer. So I'm using a 1, I'd say, and that is about a good length. So I don't know what, whatever clippers you guys are using, it's probably, I'd say, a number 1 guard. You could even go maybe possibly even a little bit shorter, but I think this looks about right to me. So let's continue to do this probably from here to about right here. The same thing on the other side, and then we'll be ready to move in through the top here. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to taper this now into the bottom here, kind of just coming on a little bit of a slight angle, working this way, okay? So we're going to kind of actually come down like this now, and just create a little bit of a taper going in. We're going to do that on the very, very bottom here. I'm going to kind of create like, a triangle, and this going into the middle, right into here. So let's do this on both sides. And it doesn't, I think it's a little bit disconnected. It doesn't look like it necessarily blends 100%. But, you can blend it if you want, just to make it look better. So let's continue just to work this kind of in towards the middle here on both sides. And then we'll start to see what we can do with the back in the middle here. Alright, so I'm back in and just kind of taper this again right into the very edges, right into here, to match up the sides here, just to kind of work it in a little bit going in this way. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to work on just some scissor over combing into here, just to kind of work this in a little better, a little closer, and then we're going to work on the top. Alright, I'm just going to switch to a higher guard right into here, pretty much going from like a 1 to a 2. And I'm just going to taper this a little bit more right into here so that it does have a nicer blend to it, and especially working right into here. Alright, if you want, you can actually take the comb and work the hair down into the clipper like this, so it gives it, it's not, so harsh right away. It kind of helps, kind of naturally blends it in. Alright, and you can do this throughout the whole back. So I'm going to just continue to work this in with the clipper just for a little bit more on both sides. And you can see kind of where we're at now in the middle. There's where we are, right there in the middle. And I'm just going to work this up a little bit. Okay, kind of again keeping that pattern where it kind of works down into the middle here, leaving it a little bit longer right in the very bottom in the middle. And I'm just going to blend this in. Do the same thing on this side. Alright, and then when we're done with this, I'm going to go in and do some scissor over comb. I just want to go in and you can, it's a little easier to use a clipper. It's also a little bit quicker too. Alright, so there you go. It's kind of naturally blending itself in. When you go through the different guards, it naturally kind of blends itself. And sometimes I get questions like, how do you blend it in? This is the best way to do it. And I got these clippers at hairartproducts.com. These are officially the Hair Art. It's a K7000. You can charge this clipper, so it's cordless, which is really cool. So you can use it just like this. You don't have to worry about the cords. Hairartproducts.com. It's where I get a lot of my tools from. So I'm just going to continue to work this in this way, and then I'm just about finished. So now I'm going to go in with the shear and do some scissor over comb, and then we'll be ready to move in through the top. All right. So now what I'm doing is I'm just blending everything in, and I'm just working the thumb like this and taking the longer pieces that I see and just cutting them, and that's really just blending it in. Okay, so you're using the comb as your guide. You're looking for those longer pieces, and then you're kind of turning the comb out to you, and then you're cutting off whatever kind of the longer pieces, working from shorter to longer like this. So the comb and your thumb and the shear are all kind of moving simultaneously, moving together as one. Alright, so let's continue to do this throughout the back of the head. Again, kind of coming to a little bit of a point down and through here in the back, because you want to leave it obviously a little bit longer down and through here. I'm going to do this on this side, and then we're going to start to work in through the top section. Alright, so his hair is a little bit disconnected in through here for what I've seen in the pictures. So I'm just going to comb this down towards me, and I'm just going to cut what I think is going to be a good amount to cut, because this all kind of comes forward like this. It's a little bit disconnected, but I don't want it to be too long into here, so that it looks like it's, you know, way too long and too disconnected. So what I'm doing is literally just comb this down, and because there's no hair under here, you can control how short you want to go. Alright, so that's what I want to do, is just continue to work this in to where I feel it's a good length right in through here. Okay, so comb that down towards you, and then just cut to where you think it actually looks good, and where you think I think this is pretty much a good length right here. I'd say to where it's about an inch coming out from the head. There you go. You can see how it just kind of comes in this way. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just comb it down to where you think it's a good length. You can brush it down this way, then comb up. You can go underneath it. You know, whatever you want to do to make sure that you feel it's pretty much even and where you want it. So I'm going to continue to work this in on the sides here, and then we'll go ahead and work into the top. Alright, looks like he's sweating here like he does in the game, which is pretty funny. Look at this. So what we're going to do is just work our way into the top here, and just going to cut it to where it's about, I'd say, an inch on the top of the head like this. Alright, I'm just going to spin this towards you guys, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start in the back here. I'm going to comb it out to where, again, it's about an inch in length, coming straight out from the head, and I'm just going to work this all throughout the whole back of the head right here. And when we're ready to go into the top, what we're going to do is we're going to connect this like this. We're going to hold it straight up, and we're going to cut it again to where it's about an inch or so in length. Alright, just going to go a little bit shorter. Then what we're going to do is we're going to work our way forward all the way to the very front, and we're going to leave the front the longest point, and we're going to do that by simply, as we get towards the front, we're just going to pull the hair back, the section back towards us, which is going to create over direction, and that's going to leave the hair a little bit longer in the front. So right about here is where you want to start over directing. Okay, so say this is the very front here, comb this back towards you. Alright, and we're just going to snip off the length here, and that's going to leave the very front longer, like he has it and how he's been, you know, lately wearing it. So there, you can bring this all down like this, and there you go. There's the longer front. Then if you want to, you can go in like this, alright, and then you can cut it to the length that you want. So I'm just going to shorten it a little bit like this, and then we're pretty much good to go in the very front. So just clean this up here, even this out, make sure it's, you know, where you think you want it, and then we'll be pretty much done and ready to style it. Alright, so here's where we're at with the hairstyle. This came out freaking awesome. Wow, this is sick. And, you know, I didn't even put any sort of product in it or anything, but here we have the back here, and, you know, and I did mention I am going to do the color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig to see what kind of lightener. You have to, if you're going to color this, it's got to be done with a bleach, because his hair is pretty dark and this mannequin is somewhat dark too. So I'm going to see if I can come up with some lightener here, which professionally we call it lightener. You know, at home or consumers, you guys call it bleach, whatever. So I'm going to go see if I can mix them up, and I'm going to paint this on, and you got to let it sit for a while. It could be a good maybe hour or so to get it really blonde. So I'm going to paint this on. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done painting it. And then we'll see where we're at. Alright, so I've got a comb in hand here, and here's the lightener right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the lightener, or the bleach, and I have it on the top of the tip of the comb like this, as you can see here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to comb it on the head like this. Okay? You want to just comb it in there, and you don't want to get it really right on the scalp area, because again, this kind of look is more to make it look like it's grown in a little bit, so it's got like kind of some roots. But in the very front, he's got a little bit bolder. Okay, so you can kind of go a little bolder right in the front here. But let's continue to work into the sides like this, and just kind of work it in and comb it just like that. As you can see how it's kind of coming in as far as the technique goes. All right, so just do this throughout the whole head, the back, the sides, and the very front. and you know, it'll create a technique and a nice, some nice definition and some nice highlights, like how he's got his hair. So when you get to the very, very front, you want to comb this all back like this, so you make sure the very, very front is the blondest. So I'm going to continue to do this. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done, and then we're going to let it sit for about like an hour or so. Alright, so here's the completed look as far as how I highlighted it. So you got some roots in there still, but I just combed it all through, kind of worked it in, blended it through the sides. I'm going to let this sit for probably about a good hour or so, because you do want to get this nice and blonde. And if your hair is really, really dark, you do have to let it sit for quite some time. So I'd say a good hour, maybe even an hour and 15 minutes. It all depends on how dark your natural hair color is. If your natural hair color is lighter, it will take less time. If it's darker, it will take more time. Alright guys, here is the, I washed this off and it looks incredible. As you can see, it looks very, very much like his hair. So what I want to do is I want to actually dry this now, and then we'll style it and we'll be done. Oh man, check it out. This is awesome. I love this. This is definitely, this came out perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better. This came out absolutely amazing. There's the sides going through here, works in through the back this way, alright, coming down into the middle like this. There's the color. As you can see, we still got, you know, the darker roots in there, alright, but because of the technique of how I did it, you know, it really looks good. So now this is one way that I've seen him start, you know, he's worn it just kind of forward like this. You know, so if you guys are looking to wear it this way, you know, just kind of work it all forward with your hands, really nothing in it. Here's kind of like one way how I've seen him wear it recently. All right, I'm going to style it differently. I'm using the Tea Tree Shaping Cream, which is one of my favorite. Again, guys, I mentioned this. It's in many of my videos. It's the Tea Tree Shaping Cream. Okay, I don't know where you can get it online, obviously, but you know, or buy it in a salon. But I'm just going to use this, and I'm just going to work this up a little bit like this, because I've seen him also style it this way too. Okay, kind of coming up in the center like this. So I'm just going to work the product in. You want to really make sure that you get it, you know, really, really work the product in from the scalp, working up towards the top like this. Alright, and there you go. This looks pretty awesome. Definitely one of my favorites. And just keep working the product into you where you feel comfortable that everything is. So there it is right there. Just get this piece over like that. And I think that looks pretty awesome. I'm just going to put some finishing touches on this. But here is pretty much the look. Alright, I think this came out great. And definitely a great request. And also an amazing player as well. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing it, a really great time. Now I'm going to ask you guys for a favor, because you're always, you know, making requests and I'm trying to come through for you guys. I need you guys to like the videos, subscribe, like the videos, because, you know, the more you like it, the more I see that you like what I'm doing. I'm getting thousands of views on these videos, but, you know, 50, 60 likes on it. I need you guys. It means a lot to me if you like the videos, if you comment on it. Also, I am going to tweet this. Follow me on Twitter, @TheSalonGuy. Alright? I want to get this out to him. I want him to see this. I want, you know, people watching the World Cup to see this. Help me get this haircut tutorial to go viral. You know, retweet it, hashtag it, whatever you got to do, but it would mean the world to me. Follow me and let's get this out there, because this is a really cool haircut, and, you know, Neymar's got really cool hair, and he's also a great player. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time for more tutorials with The Salon Guy.